Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I will talk about the afterthoughts or the experience of the night ride. So we've done the night ride a few weeks ago. It actually went pretty well. We've done 400 kilometers. The first 80 or 90 were over highway, which was pretty straightforward. Then we ended up at the south of Zeeland, and from there we went over all back roads back home towards Schiedam. We left about 8:30, so there was still a little bit of daylight left, but that was gone after we exited the highway. What we noticed was the first half hour, 45 minutes, we really needed to get into a groove of night riding because it's different than daytime riding. But after that, everybody started to settle in. We missed a few turns for the navigation, but overall, everything went pretty smooth. So yeah, pretty happy with that. Let's talk about the main risk or the main hazards for nighttime riding, which is of course first the major one is visibility, and that works two ways. So on your motorbike you only have your headlights, which is not very bright. The bikes that we have are also pretty old, except for the one of Martijn. They don't have adaptive headlights. That's something that's really recent. Even on most of us we have a fixed headlight that only shines straight forward. The running lights, they are not that bright, but the high beam is pretty good on the dark roads. The other side is you don't see as much, but it also means that other people don't see you as well, especially because you only have a single headlamp. It's way more difficult for other road users to predict your speed and to actually pinpoint your location. If you approach an intersection, there's a car, you need to be a bit more careful than you usually are. Now, in the Netherlands you also have a lot of cyclists. They typically they don't always have lights on their bicycles. In the part of Zeeland where we were, we didn't see that many, but that will probably be different in the Dutch 1000. And the other two risks that you should take into account is if you do night riding, you can come across wildlife. So we had a lot of rabbits cross over the street. We had a dog, a few cats crossing the street, and we even saw deer in Zeeland. If you hit a rabbit, as long as it's not in a corner, probably you won't have any problems. But if you hit a deer, that will end up quite poorly for you on the motorcycle. And the other part is if you ride through city centers or villages around the time that all the bar closes, you have to be careful about the drunks, the people that had way too much and are getting home not in a straight line anymore. But we didn't have any problems with that. We passed the majority of the bars before they closed. As you may know or may not have known, put the video up here, I've recently changed the stock headlights from my GS to LED ones. My experience with them was really good on the night ride. The LED headlamp gave great visibility, even with the high beam on. The lighting was amazing. Really liked it, really impressed with that. I also have auxiliary beams or fog lights on the bike. If I put those on, you have a really nice wide lit view. But the problem I have with the fog lights is that the toggle switch is on my dashboard, and I have an old GS, so the switches are not lit. So when we had oncoming traffic, they were flashing their high beam. That the fog lights were really annoying, and I could not find the toggle to switch them off quick enough. So that's one of the things I will change. I will put some glow in the dark stickers on the toggles, so I have a better chance of finding them at night. because basically that part of my dashboard is a complete black hole. The navigation is a bit different at night, especially on unlit roads, because they are because you cannot really see the intersections, the side roads that you need to turn into. Overall, I think we only missed 2 or 3 turns, which is not that bad given the fact that we did 400 kilometers. But the navigating part slows you down quite a bit, especially when you come up to an intersection. You're typically at night I'm a bit more conservative, a bit slower approaching the intersection where we need to take a turn, because it's really difficult to gauge where that turn is gonna be. Before the night ride I thought that our pace would be rather low riding at night, so the ride time for this 400 kilometers was 5 hours, 6 hours. And that is in the end more or less what we've been riding. So that means that we still make pretty good progress. So what I noticed at night is that typically the corners we were taking it a bit slower in the corners, and we made it up. We ride at a little bit higher speed on the straight pieces or the straight bits of road. But overall, I was pretty happy with the progress or the pace that we had. We even had a breakdown. The heated grip from Brian became loose, so we had to fix that. And that's one thing that does slow you down a bit, is that at stops you don't have any light, so it's a bit more difficult to find the drinks in your bag, to do any work on the bike, and those kind of things. Another risk of the night riding is of course fatigue. It depends a little bit whether you ride early in the morning, late at night, how your day has been, but you're typically not as sharp as you would be during daytime. That's also what I noticed after our last stop. I won't say people were getting sloppy with their riding, but you started to see that we were not as sharp anymore as at the start of the night ride, which is of course logic. I mean, we've all been up for a good amount of hours. If you recognize these kind of things when you ride at night, then I think it's better just take an extra break. Have a coffee, or maybe have a short sleep or a break, or do something else to take your mind off the riding, and then after maybe 10-15 minutes continue the ride. If you enjoyed this video, put a thumbs up. Initially I want to talk about the long ride as well in this video. I think it's too much, so I will do that on the long ride itself, show you what's in the bags, talk a little bit on how we prepare for this, what we take into, what we consider, how we deal with certain things. So that will be up in the next video. So yeah, if you have any questions about the night ride or the experience, drop a comment down below. I will see you next time. Bye!